we're looking at angles of a triangle. An example we have here is triangle ABC. And we know the sides of the triangle of 5, 12, and 13. We know that this is a right triangle because it's indicated as such. However, one of the things that we're trying to do, so like we can kind of remind how to do this. If we talked about the sine of the angle, we can write the sine, cosine, and tangent, right? So sine of A is the opposite over hypotenuse. So we need to know what the opposite is. This is opposite. Here's our hypotenuse. And here's our adjacent. Okay? So sine is opposite over hypotenuse, which would be 5 divided by 13. Cosine of angle A is adjacent over hypotenuse, which would be 12 divided by 13. And finally, the tangent of angle A is opposite over adjacent, which is 5 over 12. So these are the trigonometric ratios of angle A. But we haven't answered the question, like, what is angle A? What does it measure? We know that it measures something. It's an acute angle because it's part of a right triangle, so it's between 0 and 90. It looks like it's less than 45. It's a smaller angle than there. So, but we don't actually know what it is. Maybe it's 20 degrees, maybe it's 30 degrees. How could we find out what angle A measures without having to actually measure it directly? So that brings us to something called inverse trigonometry. Okay. Inverse trigonometry. So we have this thing called the inverse sine, the inverse cosine, and the inverse tangent. Okay? So we have these three ideas that if you know the sine of an angle, you know the tangent of an angle, the cosine of an angle, you can use the inverse functions to determine what those angles actually measure. So I'm going to use the Desmos scientific calculator to determine these calculations. As you can see, it's desmos.com scientific. Normally we start off the main, but I'm going to go to the function screen. And you'll see on the function screen we have these inverse functions. Okay? Now we're going to see how we would do this. So if I wanted to know, since sine of A is 5 over 13, to find the measure of angle A, I can hit inverse sine. Okay? Now you'll notice it goes back. I can either type it in, or I can go back to this screen, and I need to put 5 divided by 13. Okay? And I hit enter, and it tells me that angle is 22.619 degrees. Okay? Let's see what happens if I put the inverse cosine in. Inverse cosine of 12 over 13. So I'll go back here. 1, 2 divided by 1, 3. It says it's 22.6 degrees. Ha, interesting. Okay. Inverse tangent of 5 divided by 12 is also 22.6 degrees. So the lesson that we're learning from this is that the angles are all the same. Okay? So this angle is 22.6 degrees, no matter which angle we use. If we use sine, the cosine, or the tangent, we'll find the correct value regardless. Okay? And because it's a well-defined functions, they're going to work out that way regardless of how you would actually configure it. So usually, though, when we see problems like this, we're going to know two sides. We won't necessarily know the third side. So let's look at a few examples where we would know two sides of the right triangle, and then we can use that to find the angle. Okay? Okay. So I'm looking at a couple of angles. It says to find the measure of the indicated angle to the nearest degree. Okay? So we have a side here that says 33, a side that says 32, and an angle over here that's the unknown. So if we're gonna do this, the first thing to do is to start labeling sides. So our angle here is this is our given angle. Oops. So this is our given angle. And 32 is my opposite. 33 is my hypotenuse. And my unknown value here is my adjacent. Okay? So if I'm looking at this, I need to know what SOHCAHTOA says. In this particular case, since I know my opposite and my hypotenuse, I'm looking for a sine. Okay? Opposite and hypotenuse, that's sine. All right. So if I want to write this out, I could say that the sine of my unknown value is 32 over 33. But really what I want to do is I want to write as my unknown value is the inverse sine of 32 divided by 33. Okay? Because the inverse sine will tell me my angle. Now, on my calculator, I can go into my function screen and click inverse sine. 32 divided by 33, I just typed it out, and I end up with 75.858. So it says to the nearest degree, that would be 76. Okay? Let's try another one. Our angle up here, this is my opposite. This is hypotenuse, and this is adjacent. Okay? So I'm looking at this one. I know my opposite and adjacent. So I'm going to be looking for my tangent, right? So to write this, to solve this, I'd say my angle is the inverse tangent of 8 over 9. Okay? I wrote over the 8 and the 9 a little bit. Sorry about that. But that's how I'd want to approach it. So, inverse tangent of 8 divided by 9 is 41.6 degrees. So I'd want to round that to 42. Okay? Typically with sine, cosine, when I'm trying to find angles, nearest degree is usually good enough. That's kind of the typical way that we would solve it. Let's try another couple of them. Okay. So looking at, same as before, I'm going to label my sides. So I have my opposite, my hypotenuse, and my adjacent. Okay, so I have hypotenuse and adjacent. That tells me it's going to be a cosine, right? So my angle would be inverse cosine, okay, of adjacent 9 divided by hypotenuse 29. So inverse cosine of 9 over 29 is 71.9, so let's round that to 72 degrees. Okay? And finally for question 4, now when I think about what these are, I want to label my sides. I need to know if it's opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse. So I always start there. So here's my opposite, hypotenuse, and adjacent. Now guys, I always do it in that exact order. Opposite, hypotenuse, adjacent. Okay, it limits possible errors. So I have adjacent and I have hypotenuse. According to which one is it, sine, cosine, or tangent? Again, this is another cosine, so 2 cosines in a row. So my angle will be the inverse cosine of 12 over 26. Okay? So my inverse cosine of 12 divided by 26 is 62.5, which would round to 63 degrees. Okay? But here's something that does happen from time to time. Someone will say, well, what if I make a mistake on my cosine? So let's look at what would happen if I did that. If I put the inverse cosine, and what if I put the wrong number on top? It says 26 divided by 12. Okay? If I enter here, it says that's undefined. Because if you think about it, a cosine is always divided by the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse has got to be longer than the cosine, than the adjacent or the leg. Since cosine and sine are well defined, they've always got to be less than or equal to 1. So if you end up trying to do an inverse sine or inverse cosine of a number like this and you get it undefined, that's a surefire bet that says, okay, you used either the wrong ratio or you have the ratio in the wrong order. Okay. With tangent, it can give you one or the other. So if you make a mistake on tangent, there's no surefire way to know that you made the mistake. Okay. Hope this clears this up. Please go ahead and let's work on the material today. And good luck.